and that may be a factor in this fight. Can Chelsea Hackett get inside, and can Ditcheva keep her out on the end of those long-range punches?
Chelsea Hackett, a name that's been making rounds in the flyweight division, just sent a massive bombshell message directed straight at Dakota Ditcheva. And Dakota, she didn't stay quiet for long. She said, and I'm quoting here, I don't know much about her. Can't really find her on social media. But I'm certain that she'll bring power, speed. She's from the Philippines, so she'll have a tough head. Yeah, I'm fitter, I'm stronger, I'm faster, and I have more experience. A fighter is a fighter, so I'm a fighter.
Don't know much about her. Can't really find her on social media, so, but I'm certain that she'll bring power, speed. She's from the Philippines, so she'll have a tough head. Yeah, I'm fitter, I'm stronger, I'm faster. I've had more experience. A fighter's a fighter, so I'm a fighter.
Now, let that sink in for a second. She said she can't find Dakota on social media. She's calling herself fitter, stronger, faster. She's bringing up Dakota's nationality. This is not just confidence. This is a full psychological chess move. Hackett is trying to get inside Dakota's head before the fight even starts.
Some tough positions now. Now Hackett trying to lift the chin. She's underneath.
Got it tight. There's the tap.
Chelsea Hackett, submission win in her PFL debut.
But here's the thing about statements like these. They almost always get answered. And Dakota Ditcheva, she answered. Dakota said, I mean, I'm happy to get the job done. I want to fight again in November, so it's nice to get out without any injuries. I've been training for a long time now, so I would like to have a little bit longer in the cage. But beggars can't be choosers, can they?
I mean, I'm happy to get the job done. You know, I want to fight again in November, so it's nice to get out without any injuries. But I've been training a long time now, so I would like to have a little bit longer in the cage. But beggars can't be choosers, can they?
That last line, beggars can't be choosers. She's not angry. She's not rattled. She's basically saying, I'll finish this whenever I need to. I just wish I could stay in there a little longer. That is the mindset of someone who is genuinely not worried. That is dangerous energy. And then she took it one step further. Dakota went on Twitter and sent a direct message to Chelsea Hackett. Short, sharp, no wasted words. Just like her fighting style. Precise and devastating. Now for those who still don't know who Dakota Ditcheva is, let us fix that right now. Because if Chelsea Hackett really couldn't find her on social media, she needs to look harder. Dakota Ditcheva is one of the most exciting young fighters in MMA today. She's a Muay Thai specialist with elite-level striking. But here's what makes her truly different. She doesn't panic. She doesn't rush. She stalks. She's calm. She's patient. She's calculated. Watch any of her fights and you'll see the same thing every time. She cuts the cage off step by step. She controls the clinch, and when the opening appears, she doesn't miss. Her elbows are surgical, her knees are devastating, and her ability to read a fight in real time is well beyond her years. She's been described as a rising force, who doesn't just win fights, she makes statements.
Yeah, they're looking out of her element here. She's hurt to the body, that's it. The end of the fight.
The shot and a right hand. Big one.
Oh!
Yeah. And a power.
Let's go even deeper. What separates Dakota from most fighters at her level isn't just skill, it's her timing. She knows exactly when to be patient and exactly when to pull the trigger. That's a quality you usually only see in veterans with decades of experience. Dakota has it naturally. And that is what makes her so difficult to prepare for. You can study her tape all you want, but when you're standing across from her in that cage, feeling that pressure, watching those eyes lock onto you, it's a completely different experience. Hackett may have more professional fights on paper, but paper doesn't bleed. The cage will tell the real story. Let's talk about what Dakota looks like inside that cage, because words only go so far. In her recent bouts, we've seen a fighter who operates on a completely different level. From the opening bell, she establishes pressure, not frantic pressure, but suffocating, systematic pressure. Every step forward cuts off another escape route. She sets traps with her strikes. She's not loading up for the big shot. She's drawing reactions. She's engineering the moments that lead to the finish. And in the clinch, that's where fights are really won. Dakota secures control, drills knees into the midsection, and when the guard drops, she unleashes elbows. Short, sharp, surgical. Not to score, to break. The stoppage doesn't come from one big shot. It comes from an avalanche. And by the time the opponent realizes it, it's already over. And here's the thing people don't talk about enough. Her gas tank. Dakota maintains this level of pressure and output from round 1, all the way to the finish. She doesn't slow down. She doesn't get sloppy. If anything, she gets sharper as the fight goes on. That is a terrifying combination when you pair it with her technique. Hackett said she's fitter, but fitness means nothing if you can't find your opponent. And Dakota's movement and cage control make her one of the hardest fighters in the division to get clean shots on. This is the fighter Chelsea Hackett said she couldn't find on social media. Look. Pre-fight trash talk is nothing new in combat sports. But this situation feels different. Chelsea Hackett came in with a very specific strategy: downplay Dakota, undermine her confidence, and set a narrative where she is the experienced superior fighter. But Dakota Ditcheva didn't take the bait emotionally. She responded with calm, with class, and with a quiet confidence that is frankly more intimidating than anything loud. When a fighter says, "I just wish I had a little more time in the cage," that means they know they're going to finish it. That's not arrogance, that's a belief backed by evidence. And if we're being completely honest, the psychological battle here is already going one way. Hackett came out swinging with words, trying to establish dominance before the first bell. Dakota absorbed it, smiled, and sent a tweet. That contrast alone tells you everything about where each fighter's head is at right now. One is trying to prove something. The other already knows something. And that difference, that mental gap, can be just as decisive as any physical edge inside that cage. So let's get to it. What actually happens when these two meet? Here's the honest truth. Chelsea Hackett is no pushover. She's experienced, she's tough, and she clearly has the confidence to back herself in any room. You don't make it to this level without being a legitimate fighter. Give her that respect. But Dakota Ditcheva is operating on a different frequency right now. She's speaking, she's hungry, and she has something to prove, not to Hackett, not to the fans, but to herself. That internal drive is the most dangerous kind. If this fight goes to the ground early, and Hackett is able to neutralize Dakota's striking, it could get interesting. But if Dakota gets to work her Muay Thai, if she gets into the clinch, if she starts landing those knees and elbows, it will be a very short night for Chelsea Hackett. Our prediction: Dakota Ditcheva by TKO, likely in the first or second round. And when it happens, Hackett will have all the social media she needs to find Dakota after that. So there you have it. Chelsea Hackett fired her shot. Dakota Ditcheva fired back, calmly, precisely, and on Twitter for the whole world to see. We are watching the beginning of something very interesting. And when these two finally meet, it is going to be one for the highlight reels. If you're a fan of fighters who back up their words with real action inside that cage, Dakota Ditcheva is someone you need to be following right now. Drop a comment below. Who do you have winning this one? Team Chelsea or Team Dakota? Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the breakdown when this fight goes down.
107 for Ekaterina. She passes hydration. 124, she makes weight.
Dana White, the most powerful man in combat sports, has just sent a massive bombshell message to PFL champion Dakota Ditcheva after witnessing the terrifying performance of Ekaterina Vanderyeva, the woman they call Barbie. Her hitting speed, her ferocious power, her ice-cold precision inside the cage. White couldn't ignore what he saw. His message was clear. Ekaterina Vanderyeva is the biggest threat Dakota Ditcheva will ever face. And now, Barbie has fired back with a warning of her own, a warning that has the entire MMA world on edge. Stay tuned, because this rivalry is about to explode. Let's talk about why Dana White is so concerned. Ekaterina Vanderyeva isn't just another fighter. She's a three-time Muay Thai world champion who has been destroying elite competition for over a decade. Born on January 20th, 1991 in Belarus, this 34-year-old striker has compiled an incredible record of 58 wins in kickboxing alone, with 16 knockouts. Her teammates nicknamed her Barbie because of her beauty and resemblance to the famous doll. But make no mistake, once that cage door closes, she transforms into something terrifying. Her overhand right is devastating, her kicks are vicious, her movement is razor sharp, and she has something Dakota Ditcheva has never faced before: years of experience against the absolute best in the world. Vanderyeva even holds a majority decision victory over former UFC strawweight champion Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Let that sink in. She beat one of the greatest female strikers in UFC history. When Dana White saw her latest performance, he knew immediately this woman could end Dakota's undefeated run. And then came the call-out that shook the MMA world. Ekaterina Vanderyeva looked directly into the camera and delivered this bone-chilling message to Dakota Ditcheva. Dakota Ditcheva, you think you're the queen of this division? I've fought legends. I've beaten champions. Your impressive record means nothing to me. I am the biggest threat you will ever face. I've been destroying top-tier competition while you were still building your name. It's time the world sees what a true world-class striker can do. Come September, let's settle this once and for all.
Честно скажу, то, что было в прошлом, никак не повлияло на мою самооценку, потому что все как бы понимают, что, например, когда я с бунта на Супергерл боксировала, как бы были многочисленные экспертные мнения, когда считали очки многие, есть специальные как бы такие фирмы, которые этим занимаются, как бы все говорили, что это абсолютно как бы слитые бои. Что касается, например, тоже тот, да, вроде выиграл бой, пропустил сонную артерию, ну, блин, так бывает, было обидно, конечно, ну, чё так, вот. А последний, да, у меня было просто моральное уже истощение, честно сказать, хотелось уйти из спорта, что я и сделала, но как-то вот ушла вроде месяц назад, буквально One Championship предложил мне продление контракта, я просто сказала...
Those are fighting words, ladies and gentlemen. And coming from someone with Vanderyeva's resume, they carry serious weight. The question now is, how will Dakota Ditcheva respond? Dakota Ditcheva didn't take long to fire back. The undefeated PFL women's flyweight champion, riding a perfect 15-0 record with 12 knockouts, took to Twitter to send her own message. I've heard it all before. Legends? Champions? I've beaten them too. Tyla Santos was supposed to expose me. I finished her in 2 rounds. Every single opponent who stepped up has been knocked down. You want September? You've got it. But don't be surprised when I add another highlight reel knockout to my collection. The throne is mine. Come take it if you can. Vintage Dakota, confidence, fearless, ready for war.
Can't pull out when you sit down. Hold it right here. Get up here. Draw back. Yeah. 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 You got two. Yeah.
At just 26 years old, Ditcheva has already become the youngest champion in PFL history, the first British woman to win a major MMA world title, and the face of women's MMA outside the UFC. Her knockout ratio of 80% is absolutely terrifying. She doesn't just beat opponents, she destroys them. So let's break this down. Who wins if these two collide? Dakota Ditcheva, record 15-0, 12 KOs, 1 submission. Age 26 years old. Style explosive Muay Thai striker with devastating power, strengths, speed, timing, knockout power, range control. Recent win dominated Sumiko Inaba in July 2025. Ekaterina Vanderyeva, record 58-7 in kickboxing, 16 KOs. Age 34 years old. Style technical veteran striker with world-class experience. Strengths counter-striking, fight IQ, toughness, experience. Notable win majority decision over Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This matchup is fascinating. It's youth versus experience. Explosive power versus calculated precision. An undefeated rising star versus a battle-tested veteran. Dakota's advantage lies in her speed, her knockout power, and her ability to finish fights early. She's finished 9 consecutive opponents in the PFL. That kind of finishing instinct is rare, but Vanderyeva brings something Dakota hasn't truly faced: years of experience at the highest level. She's competed against legends in one championship, Glory Kickboxing, and on the global stage. She knows how to survive pressure, set traps, and capitalize on mistakes. If this fight goes into deep waters, Vanderyeva's experience could be the difference. But if Dakota lands clean early, it could be over in a flash. One thing is certain: if this fight happens, fireworks are guaranteed. This rivalry comes at a critical time for Dakota Ditcheva's career. Despite being the PFL's biggest star, Ditcheva has faced frustrating inactivity in 2025. She wasn't included in this year's PFL World Tournament, leaving her without a clear path forward for months. Earlier this year, she expressed her frustration publicly, saying, "I want to fight. This, for me now, especially not having anything even lined up, is really mentally challenging." The good news: Ditcheva re-signed with the PFL in July 2025 after her dominant win over Sumiko Inaba, committing to a multi-year, multi-fight deal. Meanwhile, Dana White and the UFC have been circling. Multiple analysts have suggested trading for Ditcheva, calling her a potential megastar who could become the face of women's MMA globally.
Representing Belarus, stepping into action is Ekaterina Barbie Vandarieva.
And we're seeing that.
down goes Gerchinska! Wow!
Over there. Like she was caught. Maybe the confidence was too high. Barbie connecting with a beautiful shot.
The UFC president has sent a massive message to Dakota Ditcheva about a potential fight with the woman they call the Undertaker's sister, Ekaterina Vandarieva. And trust me, this is the kind of warning that could change everything. But here's where it gets even crazier. Dakota fired back on Twitter with a message that has the entire combat sports community buzzing.
Plum and a right hand. Another one! Big one! Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hammer fist! Another knockout for Dakota Ditcheva!
Let's dive in. So what exactly did Dana White say that has everyone talking? According to sources close to the UFC president, Dana White issued a direct warning to Dakota Ditcheva, telling her that if she wants to truly prove she's the best in the world, she needs to face Ekaterina Vandarieva, and he's not sugarcoating what that means. White reportedly said that Ekaterina is unlike any opponent Dakota has faced before. We're talking about a fighter who has destroyed legends in one championship, who has competed at the absolute highest level of Muay Thai and kickboxing, and who transforms into something terrifying once that cage door closes. But here's the kicker. Dana didn't just suggest this fight. He specifically warned Dakota that Ekaterina's experience, power, and cold-blooded fighting style could be the ultimate test. This isn't just another opponent. This is the kind of challenge that could define Dakota's entire career. The message was clear. If Dakota wants to cement her legacy as one of the greatest, she can't avoid this fight. And knowing Dakota's fearless mentality, she wasn't about to back down. Now, let's talk about why everyone calls Ekaterina Vandarieva the Undertaker's sister. People see her and think Barbie, blonde, beautiful, and glamorous outside the cage. But the moment that bell rings, she becomes something completely different. Cold, calculating, destructive. Born on January 20th, 1991 in Minsk, Belarus, Ekaterina has been training in Muay Thai since she was a teenager. Her dedication and fierce attitude made her a standout in the European fighting scene from the very beginning. But what makes her truly dangerous is her striking mastery. We're talking about years of competing against the best in the world. Vicious kicks that can break ribs. Sharp, precise movements that come from facing legends in one championship. And an ability to read opponents that only comes from surviving absolute wars inside the cage. Her nickname isn't just for show. When Ekaterina fights, she brings an aura of inevitable destruction, just like the Undertaker himself. Opponents have said fighting her feels like staring into the abyss. There's no emotion, no hesitation, just pure violence executed with surgical precision.
0.0107. 107 for Ekaterina. She passes hydration. .124, she makes weight.
The question everyone's asking is, can Dakota handle that level of experience and brutality? And this is where Dakota Ditcheva showed the world exactly why she's different from every other fighter out there. After Dana White's warning went public, Dakota took to Twitter with a message that sent shockwaves through the MMA community. Now that is the response of a true champion. Dakota isn't just accepting the challenge, she's demanding it. She's calling out Ekaterina directly and making it clear that she's not intimidated by the reputation, the experience, or the nickname. Fans immediately went crazy in the comments. Thousands of retweets, hundreds of thousands of likes, and everyone asking the same question. When is this fight happening? The MMA world has been starving for a matchup like this. Youth versus experience, speed versus power, the future versus the legend. And now both fighters have made it clear they want this fight. Let's break down what this fight would actually look like if it happens. Dakota Ditcheva's advantages. First, Dakota is younger, faster, and currently at the peak of her physical abilities. She's undefeated in MMA with a record that includes multiple knockout finishes. Her Muay Thai background gives her explosive striking, perfect timing, and lethal combinations. Dakota's fight IQ is off the charts. She controls range like a chess master, knows exactly when to strike, and has shown composure under pressure that's rare for someone her age. Every opponent she's faced has been dominated, and most don't make it to the final bell. Ekaterina's advantages. But Ekaterina brings something Dakota hasn't faced yet. Seasoned, world-class experience. She's fought and beaten legends. She's been in wars that tested every aspect of her skills and mental toughness. Ekaterina's striking is more refined through years of high-level competition. Her kicks carry devastating power, her clinch work is brutal, and her ability to turn fights into gritty, grinding battles could neutralize Dakota's speed advantage.
Good counter there from Bandaryava.
Janitod says he has to be very careful with the erratic.
Here's the thing about experience versus youth. Fights aren't won on paper. Ekaterina has the tools to shock the world if Dakota underestimates her even for a second. One perfectly timed strike, one moment of catching Dakota off guard, and everything changes. But Dakota has proven time and time again that she rises to every challenge. The bigger the stage, the brighter she shines. This fight would be an absolute war, and honestly, that's exactly what makes it so compelling. So where do we go from here? With Dana White publicly pushing for this fight, and both Dakota and Ekaterina making it clear they want it, the pressure is on the organizations to make it happen. The big question is, which promotion gets this fight? Dakota is currently dominating in PFL, while Ekaterina has competed across multiple organizations including one championship. If the UFC or PFL can secure both fighters, this could easily be a main event or co-main event on a major card. The buzz this fight would generate is massive. We're talking about a potential Fight of the Year candidate before it even happens. Dana White's involvement suggests he sees the massive potential here. This isn't just another fight. This is the kind of matchup that creates stars and defines legacies.
Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, here is Catherine the Animal Corgine. She weighed in at 125.5 pounds. Her record also undefeated at 6 victories, including 5 wins by knockout. Fighting out of Manchester, England, here is dangerous Dakota Ditcheva.
Catherine Corrigines sent a massive bombshell message to Dakota Ditcheva that would come back to haunt her. Catherine Corrigines. So, I want that challenge. I want that hard fight. I want to have to brawl and bang. And I'm ready for that. And I think after the first 3 that were kind of just...
So I want that challenge. I want that hard fight. I want to have to brawl and bang. And I'm ready for that. And I think after the first 3 that were kind of just...
The American fighter was ready for war. She wanted the challenge. She wanted to bang. But what she didn't know was that she was calling out a knockout machine. Dakota Ditcheva's response was ice cold and calculated. Dakota Ditcheva. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I listened to so many people talking throughout this whole tournament. It's nice to get in the cage and showcase my skills and shut them up that way because I'm not really bothered about proving them wrong. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of get in the cage and prove to myself that they're all just talkers.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I listened to so many people talking like throughout this whole tournament. It's nice to get in the cage and showcase my skills and shut them up that way because I'm not really bothered about like proving them wrong. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of get in the cage and prove to myself that they're all just talkers. Yes.
All just talkers. Those words would prove prophetic. And after absolutely destroying Corrigines in brutal fashion, Dakota took to Twitter with a simple message that echoed through the MMA world. Actions speak louder than words. Dakota Ditcheva and Catherine Corrigines, a fight that shocked the entire USA. From trash talk to a brutal first-round finish, this match proved Dakota isn't just hype. She's a knockout machine.
Plum and a right hand. Another one, big one. Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a Hackett face. Another knockout for Dakota Ditcheva.
Let's break it down. The tension before this fight was palpable. Catherine Corrigines, an aggressive American fighter with a reputation for toughness, wasn't backing down from anyone. She specifically called out Dakota, demanding the hard fight, the brawl, the battle. Corrigines came into this matchup with confidence, having fought through tough competition. She believed her aggressive style and willingness to engage in firefights would be the key to handing Dakota her first loss.
A lot of clinch work so far, all out from distance. Oh, right hand. And there's the clinch.
And it's going to be a battle of 2 types of clinches. Corrigines, of course, looking for the takedown. Ditcheva will look to stay in this clinch and try to set up knees to the body and shots upstairs with her punches.
But Dakota Ditcheva, she'd heard it all before. Throughout the entire PFL tournament, fighters talked. They promised, they threatened, and one by one, Dakota silenced them, not with words, but with knockouts. The British Muay Thai specialist had built her reputation on precision striking and devastating power. She wasn't interested in trash talk. She was interested in the results. And her Twitter response after the weigh-ins made her intentions crystal clear. She was there to prove Catherine was just another talker. The stage was set, the smart cage awaited, and only one fighter would walk out with their hand raised. When the cage doors closed at PFL 10, Catherine Corrigines had her chance to back up every word she'd said. She wanted to brawl, she wanted to bang, and for about 60 seconds, she tried.
Very good kick. In and out. Push. Who's the cage? Who's the cage? Who's the cage? Very good. Move away.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice work by Catherine Corrigines to catch one of those front kicks from Dakota Ditcheva, but then excellent counter wrestling from Ditcheva to pummel in.
From the opening bell, Dakota Ditcheva came out calm, yet calculated. She maintained her signature upright Muay Thai stance, controlling the center of the smart cage with the confidence of a fighter who'd been here before. Corrigines, true to her word, pushed forward early with that aggressive style she'd promised.